Hello everyone, my name is Rahul Joshi and welcome to my YouTube channel Selenium Easy with Rahul. So in our previous session we discussed about finding the XPath using text function, and today we are going to discuss about very important topic about finding the XPath using contains function. So let's check out.
Type 4 to create XPath is by using the contains function. Contains function is a very useful method in XPath. It can be used for all such web elements whose value can change dynamically. It is also used when you have large range of text or attribute value in an element. So first of all, let's see how contains function is used along with the text in an element. So here the syntax actually, is like double slash, then we have to write the tag name, and in the square brackets we have to write contains, and again in the circular bracket we have to write text function, comma, its value, right? And make ensure that you have closed both the brackets, right? So because this is a very common mistake that usually people do. So let's take an example. So let's say like I want to create an XPath using contains function by taking text. So what we need to write here, double slash, the name of the tag is the name of the tag is A. Then in the square brackets, we have to write contains. Then in the circular bracket, we have to write text method, comma. And in the single quotes, we have to write subtext or partial text, right? So in this case, I'm just taking the partial text as a link, right? And we just need to close all the brackets. So in this way, whenever we have any text available, we can take the partial text and can use within the contains function, right, to create the XPath. So let's see an example. Again, I'm going to give a demo. So just let's check out. So let me give you an example for creating the XPath using contains method for the longer text. Okay. So if I show you the syntax first, so syntax is double slash, then we have to give the tag name. And in the square brackets, we have to write contains. Then in the circular bracket, we have to write text method, comma. Then in the single quotes, it's value. Then we need to close the circular brackets. And after that, we have to close the square bracket, right? So just a note that many times we forget this bracket, right? And due to which we are not able to identify the objects correctly. So just remember the syntax, go through it and practice. So if I talk about the example, right? So let me identify this particular text here because it is a longer text, right? So let me show you. So here in this case, if you see, we have the h2 tag. This is the starting tag up to here, and we have the end tag as well, and we have the long text, right? So as we know, the only difference between the text method and contains is like in the text method, we have to pass the complete text A to Z from the beginning up to end. But in the contains, we are only going to give the partial text or the subtext. So let's create the object using contains. So what we need to do, double slash, the name of the tag, that is h2. In the square brackets, we have to write contains. In the circular bracket, just write text method, comma. Instead of equals to, we are just writing comma here because it is not a direct match, or because it is a subtext, right? That's why we are just adding comma here instead of equals to. Text method, then comma. In the single quotes, we have to write the subtext. So let's take Facebook helps you to connect. I'm just taking this only part, right? Which is a subtext. Let me write it here. Okay. Enclosed within the single quotes. I'm closing the brackets, both the brackets, right? So let me copy it and paste it over here. Let's see. Yes, so if you have noticed, it identified the object correctly, right? Let me take one more example because this is one of the crucial topic, right? So as an example, if I give you, let's take an example of this forgotten password link. So if you see here, we have a tag, starting tag, right? Which is closed here. We have the end tag as well, anchor tag, right? So in between we have forgotten password, right? So let's take the subtext as forgotten. Okay. So I'm just copying this forgotten only. Okay. let us create the object. So what we need to write, /a, because it is a tag name. Then we have to write contains, okay. Then round bracket, text, method, comma. In the single quotes, we have to write the subtext. I am just writing forgotten. All right. Enclosed within the single quotes. We have to put the brackets now. So it is completed. Let me copy it. And so if you see, it is currently identifying the forgotten password link, and it is one of one. That means it is a unique property, right? So in this way, actually, we are going to create the XPath using contains method having longer text. So now there is a chance that an attribute value is too large, right? So in that context as well, we can use the contains function along with the partial attribute value. So the syntax for this is like /tag name. Then in the square brackets, we have to write contains. In the circular brackets, we have to write attribute name, comma, its value, right? And we have to close both the brackets. So if I give you an example for this element, so we can write the tag name is a, then in the square brackets, we have to write contains, then we have to write circular bracket, @ Here in this case, we have the attribute name as href. So we are writing @href, comma, its partial value we can take. So we can write like google.com in this example, right? And then we have to close both the brackets. So in this way, we can, use the contains method for longer attributes value. Okay. So let's again take another example to, demo you how we can use this. So let's check out. So let's see how we are going to create the XPath using contains method for longer attribute value. Okay. So for an example, if I give you, let's identify the forgotten password link object. Okay. So if you see here in the href attribute, it is too long or too lengthy, right? So sometimes it is very bad practice if you write /a @href is equal to this value, right? With the help of single attribute. So it is really not recommended to use a single attribute because this href value is too long. So in that case, we have the contains method, and we can use the, this particular value. We can shorten this value using contains. So as an example, if I show you the syntax first, so the syntax is /tag name, and in the square brackets, we have to write contains. Then in the round brackets, we have to write attribute name, comma, its value. Okay. So for this example, let me first copy the partial value of this particular href link. So in the href, I'm just copying this value, that is Facebook_login. Okay. So this is the partial value, right, of that particular attribute. Okay, I just copied this value. Okay, now, so how to create the object for this? /, the tag name is a, right? Then we have to write contains. After that, we have to href, right? The attribute name is href. Then we have to write comma. Inside that, we can write the partial value that we copied, which is Facebook login. So out of this complete text, I'm just writing Facebook login, right? And just close all the brackets, right? So let's see like whether this is the correct object or not. All right. So if you see, we have correctly identified the object because it is highlighted and it is a unique as well. So let me give you another example. So if I can identify the object for this particular Facebook link, okay. So if you see, this is the image, right? And the source is also an attribute, class is also an attribute here. So let's take the source, okay. And if you have noticed, it is too long again, right? So we can take the partial text from here. That is the name of the file or that particular image file. That is the starting from dy, right? So let me copy this, okay. And here what we can write, /, the tag name is img, okay. Img, then in the brackets, we have to write contains, the round brackets, we can write at the rate because the tag name is src here. So write at the rate src, comma, its partial value, right? Let's close both the brackets, copy this value, and let's search if we are able to find. Yes, if you see, it is correctly highlighting, right? And we have the unique property as well. So in this way, actually, we are going to create the XPath using contains method, having the attributes value very big. Okay.